Breaking news today on the 20th of May, 2020. How are y'all doing? Hope you're staying healthy. This is Ven, and today we're going to be taking a look at Bionicle Quest for Mata Nui, or Mata Nui, however you want to pronounce it. A fan-made Bionicle game just revealed not too long ago as an open-world action-based RPG based around the very first year of Bionicle and its story from 2001, sporting an amazingly realistic graphic style, a progression system, and a rather sophisticated combat system. Since its reveal, the game has seen massive amounts of press coverage and support from all across the community, drawing in various gamers and anyone who at one point in their childhood owned the red guy. Lead developer Crainycreations has just announced that the development team plans to cease development of multiplayer for the game, a feature that had been highly anticipated by fans, for it would have allowed for up to 6 players to play on the island of Mata Nui simultaneously, whether they aided each other in combat or simply performed their TOA duties separately. Posted on the Discord server for the game, Crainycreations states the reasoning as follows. The reason for this game is not a technical one, but a conscious artistic decision. The core of the multiplayer experience has been working and thoroughly tested for a long time now. However, the multiplayer aspect of this game has its roots in the early development of Bionicle Quest for Mata Nui, when the concept of the game was still much different and much smaller. The inclusion of multiplayer was always a decision that was based on that I really wanted it to be a feature in the game, seeing how I really liked multiplayer support in the games I play, without considering how it would actually improve the overall quality of the game. The more I advance in the development of Bionicle Quest for Mata Nui, the more I realize that the multiplayer aspect doesn't really fit with the rest of the vision of Bionicle Quest for Mata Nui, and I'm starting to see that it's holding the game back overall. As stated many times before, Bionicle Quest for Mata Nui is designed as a single-player RPG first. Me and the team have put a huge amount of effort into meticulously recreating the atmosphere of the first year of Bionicle. It is always a magical moment to wake up on Tawahi Beach as Tahu. However, this magic is severely hampered when you see 5 other Tahus running around on that same beach. In the same post, Crainycreations also claims that while multiplayer is not going to be available upon the game's release, there is still possibility of it being at least considered for the future. So if you're still wishing for the chance to maybe run around the island of your childhood with 5 of your buddies, you might still have some hope there. Maybe. The next bit of news on the game is a bit of a hard hitter. Along with this announcement, Crainycreations also revealed more details on the game's engine. For those unfamiliar, a game engine refers to the basic fundamental programming that literally gets the game running. You may have heard this term before with some of your favorite games running on the Unreal Engine, or DICE's Battlefield games running on the Frost Engine, what have you. Recently, there's been much speculation and rumblings in the Bionicle community about what engine that Bionicle Quest for Mata Nui would run on, whether it's Unreal or Unity or something else, maybe a custom engine entirely. So today, Crainycreations put not all the talk, really just all the speculation. He put that all to rest by revealing that the game is running on the Starcraft 2 engine. Yep, Starcraft 2. So, hear me out real quick, because this one is a doozy. Starcraft 2 is a real-time strategy game developed and published by Blizzard Entertainment, the same guys who put out World of Warcraft and Overwatch. It is a free-to-play game that also happens to offer its own engine as an open-source software tool to allow fans to build off of and create their own custom games. However, this engine is very different from other open-source engines such as Unity or Unreal, in spite of the fact that it is still free to use. In order to play Bionicle Quest for Mata Nui, one would actually need to download Battle.net and install StarCraft 2 beforehand if this wasn't done already. This was confirmed by Crainycreations. And with that said, contrary to what has been stated before, the game is not running on a standalone engine and it will not have its own launcher. In the Discord post, Crainycreations states, "The reason I've held off about talking about my choice of engine up until now is because I firmly believe that the discussion of an engine should be, at best, secondary to the discussion of the merits of the game itself. The choice to not talk about the engine in any grand way is one I would have made regardless of what engine Bionicle Quest for Mata Nui was actually created in, and I believe it has helped a great deal with creating more fruitful discussion about Bionicle Quest for Mata Nui all around the internet. The decision of making Bionicle Quest for Mata Nui in the Starcraft 2 engine comes down to my previous experience with the engine. Even before working on Bionicle Quest for Mata Nui, I already knew the engine of Starcraft 2 inside out. Creating an open-world RPG is an incredibly technically complex task, and knowing your way around your tools before you even start working on it is, I think, crucial to succeeding in such an endeavor. And in regards to any legality issues with Blizzard or LEGO on this particular subject, Crainy said, "I know this one of the questions that a lot of people care about. I can say for the past 10 years I've been making games for StarCraft 2 and participated in Blizzard's communities for even far longer than that. And from my experience, as I've said before, there is no more reason to believe that this project will receive a complaint from Blizzard than it is to receive one from LEGO itself. I can also say that some of the reservations people have towards Blizzard are unfounded." Despite this statement, the community's concern over the legality of the game is definitely not without merit, as in their own policy over custom game creation, Blizzard specifically states, 1. Ownership. Custom games are and shall remain the sole and exclusive property of Blizzard. Without limiting the foregoing, you hereby assign to Blizzard all of your rights, title, and interest in and to all custom games, including but not limited to any copyrights in the content of any custom games. And 3. Use of third-party content in custom games. In the event that Blizzard learns of the existence of a third-party claim related to a custom game, Blizzard reserves the right to remove or block the custom game from any Blizzard-owned platform. Essentially, what this means is any custom game created with the use of Blizzard's engines becomes the legal property of Blizzard. And if any third party makes a copyright claim over content in the game in question, then Blizzard is totally allowed to take it down. In case this isn't clear enough, this does bring the fate of Bionicle Quest for Mata Nui in question, as it is technically to be a Blizzard-owned game that does include characters and other content owned by LEGO. And this is a very different situation than you would find with the Unity engine or the Unreal engine, which are also completely free to use. Finally, to clarify if Bionicle Quest for Mata Nui is essentially a mod for StarCraft 2, Crainy states, yes, but only in a very pedantic sense. You access Bionicle Quest for Mata Nui the same way you would any game made in StarCraft 2 editor. However, at the end of the day, Bionicle Quest for Mata Nui is no more a StarCraft 2 mod than games made in Unity or Unreal are mods for those specific engines. Everything from the most basic movement to the most basic attacks, and even how the game processes and displays environments, was coded from scratch, as far as you can use that term in regards to any engine, by me and my team. Virtually all of the assets you see in Bionicle Quest for Mata Nui, from the actual Bionicle models to the environments, are made by me and my team, and the only things that Bionicle Quest for Mata Nui actually uses from the StarCraft 2 game, not the engine but the game itself, are a limited amount of VFX and some sound effects, but that's not really any different than using some VFX asset packs from the Unity store. Nothing you see in the gameplay videos is even remotely possible within the StarCraft 2 engine without someone first spending a huge amount of time coding all of that stuff and already knowing the engine inside out before doing so. Alright, well that was a lot to take in, so let's just quickly recap. Bionicle Quest for Mata Nui is a mod based on StarCraft 2's engine, and upon release it will not feature the highly anticipated multiplayer feature due to artistic integrity. Bionicle Quest for Mata Nui is a fan-made Bionicle RPG game developed by Crainycreations with no current release date. You can find a link to the Discord server and all updates centered on their YouTube channel aptly named Bionicle Quest for Mata Nui. So, here are my thoughts. Oh boy. So, First of all, in regards to the multiplayer thing, I will say I kind of get it in terms of like the artistic vision. You know, you picture the game being, oh yeah, you as a single player approaching the beach as Tahu and going on these quests. You know, that whole single player experience with the perfect atmosphere and everything. I get it. Right, you want to have that experience available for the players, but if that's what it was supposed to be from the beginning, just purely single player and whatnot, then you really should have made that clear with everything you've done publicly. So with the trailer that featured multiplayer, with the gameplay I think that featured multiplayer, with all the articles about this game that talks about the multiplayer, there's an article out there that says this Bionicle fan game looks incredibly ambitious or something like that, right? And it talks about how the multiplayer, it looks crazy, and it did, because Craney in that interview talks about how, yes, there will be 6-player multiplayer in this game. 6 players can play on the island of Mata Nui all at once, and that sounds awesome. To me, I think that is a great option to have. It doesn't sound like it's necessary for the game, but it's cool that it's there. It gives me a chance to play this awesome Bionicle game with somebody and kind of relate with them on it or something. But then you take that option away based on your own personal preference, not even like a technical issue. That's kind of what bothers me about it, is that it's there. The multiplayer feature is there. He says it's done, but he wants to take it out. Why? Leave it in there. It's an option. You can still make it so that the game is single player focused and also have that option for people to just have fun with the multiplayer. It just feels like you're making the game a little bit less fun. Like, I'm sure it's still going to be fun to play a single player open world Bionicle RPG. That's awesome. And I love that. And that was my first draw to the game. But what really got me hyped up about seeing that trailer especially was seeing the multiplayer aspect, because that just sounds so different and so, like, it's ambitious, yes, but that's what makes it so cool, and that makes me so excited for it. While it is a cool feature, it's not the thing that I pictured myself first doing when I opened up the game. I picture myself just playing it by myself for a bit, if anything. If I really wanted to do the multiplayer, I would wait. I want to experience the Tahu stuff and do the single player on my own for a bit, become familiar with the game first, and then start introducing other people to it. And like, there's got to be a way to make it so the multiplayer aspect becomes available later, right? Like, you unlock it, but I don't know. You put it out there that it's a thing, that it exists, and now you're just taking it away, and it feels a little it kind of stings a little bit. Like, it feels like it shouldn't have been announced from the beginning. Like, this is a decision you probably should have made before announcing that the game came out, or even including multiplayer in the trailer, or talking about it in articles, or any of that. Now, with the whole Blizzard thing and the Starcraft 2 engine, that is such a situation. And the reason why I say that is because up until this point, as I said earlier, we have been led to believe that the game was running on an original engine, that it was not a mod, at least, right? There have been many occasions on the Discord server especially where Crainy has confirmed that the game is not a mod, it is running on its own engine, and that more details on the engine would be revealed later. The engine was aptly named the Metru engine or something. But because of uncertainty around the engine, it created a lot of speculation, and so people started to wonder, what actually is the Metru engine? Is it Unity? Is it Unreal? Is it Starcraft 2? Okay, there's a whole story behind that, and I'm not going to get into it, but just know there is a story, and it will be covered later. But essentially, most people were starting to speculate recently that the game was running on Starcraft 2, and Craney just wasn't revealing it, that it was a Starcraft 2 mod. And now it's out there that the game is a Starcraft 2 mod. After saying for so long that it isn't a mod, that it's its own thing, he finally reveals that the game relies on Starcraft 2, and you even need to download Starcraft 2 to play it in the first place. That's... what? Okay, hang on. For me, I feel like you should have said that from the beginning. You should have said, Hey guys, I'm making a Bionicle game using Starcraft 2. I'm modding Starcraft 2 to create a Bionicle game. This is what it looks like. But for some reason, you played up that this was going to be its own thing. You've been asked all these questions. You went on however many interviews with however many websites. You're on however many articles saying that the game is something that it isn't. Why? You're claiming other people's work as your own. The engine is not yours. The engine belongs to Blizzard. It was created by people at Blizzard, and you're taking it and claiming it as your own because you decided to build off of it to create something new. But you weren't giving them the proper credit to begin with. You didn't even once say that Blizzard had anything to do with it, that Starcraft had anything to do with it. And I have no better way to describe this than to say it is very shady. And as an artist, I don't like that at all. That kind of speaks to me in the really bad way. And it's not a good look. That's like me going, hey, look at that drawing there. You see that? Yeah, that's all mine. Well, actually, somebody else like sketched it and made up all the details. But, I colored over it to a degree that's still impressive. You still did something to it. But it's not all yours. You can't claim it as all yours, dude. You should have revealed this from the beginning. You should have been clear cut. It doesn't make sense to me why you would want to omit that for so long. Sure. You don't want the discussion to fixate on the engine. You want it to focus on other stuff around the game, and you got that, sure, but you still got a lot of discussion around the engine because you didn't reveal anything, so it just created a bunch of speculation and shadiness all around it. It's a really weird situation. So yeah, there's that, and there's also now knowing that there is the possibility of legal issues. I'm not a lawyer, sure, but it's because no one is really certain. I can't be certain. You can't be certain. Nobody can really be certain about how this all works. That creates this this concern of what is going to actually happen when this game is out there. Is it going to be taken down? That's a pretty legitimate concern to have. I don't think it's really fair to dismiss that kind of discussion because it is a legitimate one to have, and it is a legitimate one to actually explore. But I don't know. I guess we'll just wait and see how things go. I mean, that's just how it's going to have to be. Now, don't get me wrong. I still want to play this game. Even knowing that it's a StarCraft 2 mod, I don't care. It's a Bionicle game. Are you kidding me? Really, what's got me a little conflicted is all this decision making around the game, and it's got me in the morals a little bit. On one hand, I'm a Bionicle fan. I've loved Bionicle since I was a kid. I want to play a new game. It's shiny and cool looking. But on the other hand, what am I supporting here? What kind of behavior am I supporting, and who am I supporting, really? Who am I condoning? What am I condoning? It brings a lot of that to question. And also, how much personal investment should I really have in something as messy as this? There's a lot more that goes into this, a lot more details that I'm not going to have for you right now, but we're going to go over that in future videos. We have a lot more to cover here. This is just the basics, y'all. So be sure to check out Knack and Jay. There's going to be a big discussion about this, without a doubt. And we might have some more content, more news about this as more details come through. For now, this is just for today. So be sure to stick around for some of that. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts in the comments below, so be sure to leave a comment or two. And of course, continue the discussion on board.tdvchannel.com. Plenty of other users, plenty of other Bionicle fans that you can talk to on there. Have a big discussion about it. Gather your thoughts. Don't let me tell you what to think. Just, this is what it is, and you do you. Now, with all that said, I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Hopefully on Bionicle Quest for Mata Nui. If it still has multiplayer at some point, it probably won't.